Boop. Hello and welcome back to the Atlas Readings. Your host Fran Eden coming to you from the plains of eternal carnage. And I'll be today reading Omniknight, Oracle, Outworld Destroyer, and Pangolier. Oh, also Phantom Assassin. Almost didn't see them there. Well, without further ado, go.
My virtue, my strength.
Omniknight! I fell in with a ragged line of pilgrims trudging towards the high cliffs of Amaracus, where the priests of the Omniscience dwell. The trek cost me weeks, a good pair of sandals, and half of my patience. But it'd be worth every blister to gain a little bit background on the purest Thunderwrath. Wait, his name is Purest Thunderwrath? No, I fucking refuse that. The Omniknight. I did not know this man's name before recording this. Jesus Christ. At last the cliffs loomed, sheer, jagged stone, riddled with caverns like deep-set, watchful eyes. Hierophants welcomed the supplicants into the caves where they hoped to receive visions. I sidled up to a junior priest to ask about Omniknight. "He came questioning," he said. "We prepared to cast him into the pit of sacrifice." Then, sensing my look, added, "As is proper with doubters. But then he glowed with the Omniscient's favor, and we knew he was chosen to meet the All-Seeing One." He looked me over and frowning slightly. "If you have further questions, I could arrange a tour of the pit of sacrifice." I suddenly realized that I had all the background on Omniknight I needed. I smiled and thanked the priest for his time. Quibbins. They keep putting quibbins in situations. Oracle. It is often said that fortune favors the bold, but as the advisors of Semari realized as soon as they faced their ultimate destruction, fortune actually favors whoever it chooses. Nerif the Oracle was latest in a long line of oracles serving the Graven King, but instead of predicting the future as the others had, he seemed to have a way of shaping it. Hell-bent on conquering new lands, the last Graven King believed Nerif to be a secret weapon. With someone who could bend reality's will under his command, he would never lose another battle. Until one day, Nerif refused to predict victory. "I simply told the king it could go either way," his voice hummed in my head. And go either way it did. Soldiers both died and lived simultaneously. The battle was won and lost at the same time. Reality split in two, as did the combatants' minds. They split and then they split again and again. Did Nerif shape the future, creating infinite conflicting realities to destroy the Graven King and free himself? It seems he himself does not know. "I see not the past, only the future," he said. As to what he sees my future holding, given the fate of his past master, I would rather not know. Mossgrave.
Destroyer.
Outworld Destroyer. Outhouse Destroyer, perhaps. I'd asked around for weeks, hoping to find anyone who had survived an encounter with Outworld Destroyer. Finally, a wandering merchant told me his brother had somehow done just that. "My brother Tremont was an inquisitive type," he said. "Always looking for new adventures in his travels. He happened upon a town the Destroyer was destroying. He told me where I could find his brother if I wanted an interview. Good luck," he added sadly before continuing on his way. I met Tremont in the drab, sterile asylum where he now lives. When I greeted him, he turned his shaved head to look at me, or past me. "Going to get you," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "Going to get us all." Some academics theorize that Outworld Destroyer came from beyond the sun, from the edge of the abyss itself, that he patrolled that distant area, waiting for what? Few believe he's the herald of some evil so pervasive it will consume the world. Others refuse to ponder the possibilities too deep, if at all. But the scrawny, wide-eyed man sitting before me apparently had his own theory. "Can't escape," he croaked. "Too late, it's already coming." I wasn't going to get much information here. As I walked out, Tremont started chuckling. His laugh grew into a maniacal cackle. "It's already coming!" he screamed over and over again between laughs. Good kind.
We're the finest warriors alive.
Pangolier.
Have gathered for battle. Of course you can expect to find me.
The locals at a quaint pub in the White Spire were regaling me with tales of Dante Panlin's exploits when the famed swashbuckler himself showed up. "I was told you were asking about me," he purred with a wink and a tip of his hat. "What they did not tell me was how stunning you are. Dante Panlin at your service." He bowed deeply and took my hand and kissed it before sliding in the seat across from mine. It wouldn't be excessive to say the others at the table swooned. "You perhaps want to hear about the time I felled a giant?" Panlin crowed. "Or the other time I felled a giant? Dragons? Demons? Despots?" He mimed great battles as he unfurled countless painstakingly detailed stories of monarchs rescued, villages saved, monsters defeated, each more elaborate than the last. I'd heard several of the stories already, and Dante's versions veered between wild exaggeration and outright falsehood. It's clear that the Pangolier has a short share of admirers, but no one seems to admire Dante Panlin more than Dante Panlin. Good cat. Love Pangolier. He's actually one of the first heroes I picked up. It's kind of funny. It was like a series of picking up games with like hero selects and being like, "Oh, neat," and accidentally picking the French guy immediately. It happened like 3 times in a row.
The phantom creeps in.
Phantom Assassin. I feel along the chilly stonework outside the chapel. No seams. Interesting. My escort, prim prioress in heavy war gown, says speaking with Mortred, with any of the Sisters of the Veil, is forbidden. She hints that turning me away was a kindness, that if I stayed, she couldn't say what Mortred would do to me. Great. 2 months of tracking down leads, sifting through rumors, speaking with ruthless leaders of Assassin's Guilds, not very forthcoming, and my options are to give up or get murdered. I'll tell the prioress I'm willing to take my chances. Suddenly, the war-gowned prioress, I keep trying to call her a princess and then a priestess. Prioress goes blurry.
It's a hard word to say.
It is a hard word to say. From the vibrating silhouette steps the veiled sister I'd come seeking. Still, I jump. "The augury of death lies not on you," she assures me. "Good to know." I try to force a smile. "Now you may ask one question." So I ask her about her early years. Taken by the order from Tar's merchant home, she barely recalls her childhood was an endless cycle of bladecraft, meditation, and mending. She skips over initiation rites, but with the ghost of a smile admits she was the youngest to ever don the veil at 12. Her first kill? A secret only she and the corpse know. Her second? The upstart king of Whitecap. Never heard of him? Exactly. Before I can try to follow up, old Wargown is back. Should have seen that coming. Carrick. Alright, and that is hour 5 for this evening. Thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you in the next one.